So, how do I look?
You don't intend to wear that outfit out in the street, do you?
Just to the dance studio. And for your information, this outfit is to make me look like I'm dying to dance on Broadway.
Holly, look, I really wish you wouldn't get involved in this.
Why? When I told you about it before, you didn't seem too concerned.
Yeah, that was before I learned how serious you are about it.
This Hannibal, or whatever his real name is operating a scam, and I'm going to do something about it.
We have a bunco squad which specializes in things like this.
I've already got the bait on the hook, and I'm certainly not going to stop now. I'm not going to be late either, not when I'm supposed to think stardom is just around the corner.
Holly, be careful.
Of course.
And Holly, keep me posted.
Hello, Commissioner Scorpio.
Mr. Jackson, what can I do for you?
I'll come right to the point, Commissioner.
Thank you. What is it?
The real Grant Putnam is alive. Alive, well, and at this moment in New York City. The real Grant Putnam was left for dead. It was some time before he was found.
It's one of the guy was still alive.
He was worse off mentally than physically.
All those years.
He was mute and subject to periods of total withdrawal.
You said he was mute. That obviously doesn't apply now. What's triggered the recovery?
Well, from what we've learned, you read a story about Chernin being exposed as a DVX spy. And the shock triggered a complete recovery of his memory.
It's unbelievable. What about fingerprints? I mean, you've checked, of course.
Twice, and with the expected results.
In other words, a typically thorough DVX job. They exchanged the actual Grant Putnam's prints in the FBI files with the man that we know as Putnam.
Now, it might be a whole lot easier, Robert, if you started to think of him as Andre Chernin.
That's going to take some doing.
Better get used to it. I saw the real Grant Putnam for myself. I was with him yesterday, along with his attorney and Mr. Armistead.
There's no doubt in your mind?
Not a shred of doubt. The whole thing is so mind-blowing.
Whew. Well, thank you for filling me in personally.
Don't you think it would be better if you and I broke this news to the other Putnam together? With Andre Chernin, I mean to say. I know that you and he were friendly.
You still are.
That's good, because he's in for one hell of a shock. Plus another heavy dose of publicity once this news gets out.
I'll be with you when you tell him.
I hope he can take it. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
Where does all this end? I mean, what about the guy's future? Have you people made any decisions?
Only the obvious ones. Naturally, he won't be able to use the name Grant Putnam.
Well, it's not going to be so obvious to him, at least why it's not to start with.
He has no choice. Also, we're going to urge him to let us give him a totally new identity. The man Port Charles knows as Grant Putnam will literally cease to exist.
Amy, honey, how does it fit?
I'll show you in a second. I'll be right out.
All righty.
Mary, I think I'll take it.
It also comes in red.
Oh, really? Then I'll take that, too. What is that sensational little baby in your hand?
Isn't it wonderful? Delphina and I just drool. You want to try it on?
Oh, I love the seeds, but is it my size?
Size 4.
Honey, put it on the pile. This is so much fun.
Well, what do you think?
Turn around. Well, Claudia may disagree with me, but I think it's a little harsh for you, Amy.
I don't like it either, girl.
Here, try this. This might work a little better for you.
Claudia, what do you think?
That is you. That's definitely you. Go try that on. This is gorgeous.
One of our pets. Notice the waist treatment?
Oh, I adore it. I notice it. It's wonderful. I'll take it.
It's your size.
Wonderful.
Oh, excuse me.
Claudia, are you buying all of that stuff?
Well, a little bit more than this. Actually, I don't have a thing in green in my closet. Got to find something.
I know that you're going to tell me that this is none of my business. But don't you think that Brian's going to be a little bit upset?
Well, I can't imagine why.
Well, because you're spending all of that money.
So what? We don't have a problem. I mean, we've already talked about it. We have the problem all squared away.
How?
Well, he'll just have to understand I am exactly the same person I always was, with just one difference. More moolah to spend.
Well, I guess if you look at it that way, then it's not a problem.
Oh, and it's so much fun. I mean, I don't know how long it's been since I've been on a shopping spree. Remember when we used to go with Laura and we'd try on everything in the store? Oh, great.
But the difference was back then we didn't buy anything.
Yeah, but it's much more fun buying it, believe me.
I know. You know what? I really miss Laura. I wish that she and Luke would have stuck around here a little bit longer.
You know, Delphina and I were just saying the same thing.
Wait a minute. Did I see this baby?
No, but I didn't think you'd be interested. I mean, it's so formal, you wouldn't get much use out of it.
But it is so elegant. Oh, and a good black dress. What do you think, Amy? Come on. Fits me right, huh?
It's beautiful. But I think I agree with Mary. I mean, where would you ever wear something like that?
Who cares? I'll just put it on the bill anyway, all right?
If you say so, Claudia.
Oh, I do, definitely. And as to when and where I'll wear it, honey, if I have to, I'll just give a ball.
I didn't think that was a Port Charles accent.
No, I'm from England originally. I have an aunt who lives out here. She invited me to stay, and knew it was my big chance.
Your chance for a career.
Ever since I was a child, I've always dreamed about being in a Broadway show. So when she invited me out here, I just got all my life savings out of the bank, and I came right out here.
Musicals in England, didn't you think of trying out there?
Oh, you know as well as I do. London's West End just isn't the same as Broadway. Most of the musicals are second runs of Broadway shows. I want the real thing. I want Broadway.
You really have the bug, Miss McTavish.
I'm afraid it's incurable.
But there's no cure invented yet. Except to give in to it, which I'm pleased to say you're doing by taking this first step.
You know, I have a confession to make. May I?
I'm all yours, dear girl.
You're the first person who's really encouraged me in this. My parents thought I was flighty. They thought I was dreaming my life away.
Nonsense. Broadway's a reality. Why shouldn't you have a crack at it?
Just hearing you say Broadway makes me feel something.
I know just what you mean. Once it's really in your blood, like it's in mine, there's nothing else like it.
Right. I was so surprised to find someone like you right here in Port Charles.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Yes, I'm sure there is.
See, on Broadway, I see the same old faces, one audition after the other. Roland, that's Roland Gilbert. Roland and I both agree that every once in a while one has to get out to where the real people are. Find a fresh, young, exciting new talent.
You know Roland Gilbert? The choreographer? The Roland Gilbert?
My dear girl, we go way back. In fact, the chief reason that I'm here is to find fresh new faces for his new Broadway production.
Really?
It's going to be a smash. It's called the Hopscotch Girls, and Roland and I decided we needed new girls. New faces. New and exciting girls who can really dance.
That's wonderful. That's why I'm here.
Well, then, if you're ready, let's see what you can do. Did you prepare anything?
Yes, I prepared something. I'll have some music.
All right. Don't be nervous. You can limber up a bit if you'd like. Put the music on here. Find my old reliable phonograph works just fine for studio purposes. All right. Whenever you're ready. see immediately you've had some training before.
Oh, I did, a little.
In England?
Yes, when I was a child, but since then I've been practicing on my own.
I see. Let me see a bit more, may I? Continue. Continue, please. Continue. Let me see a Grant Putnam. Other side. And a port de bras. Okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry, I should have done much better.
True. But nevertheless, you do have talent.
I do?
Yeah, I've been in the business long enough to know it when I see it. Not that I run into a natural talent every day of the week. When I do, I still get a thrill.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Hannibal. Just think, when I left home this morning, I nearly turned around and went back.
Well, that would have been a big mistake.
Does this mean you'll recommend me to Roland Gilbert?
Hold on. You're way ahead of me, Miss McTavish.
But you did say I have talent.
Yes, I did. A natural talent.
Then I don't understand.
Listen very carefully. This may be the most important decision of your life.
Yes?
Talent, yes. Technique, no. However, technique can be learned.
How?
By working hard, of course, and a good teacher. I myself could teach you technique, Miss McTavish. And it's my opinion, once you've mastered that, you'd be a shoo-in for Roland's new musical.
You honestly think that I could get a job on a Broadway show?
I do. Provided, of course, you're willing to work very hard.
Oh, I'll do anything, but would you take me on as a student?
Well, let me say I'll consider it. A great many girls have auditioned for me already. And I can only help those who show real promise.
Oh, I promise I'll work really hard. You have no idea how much this means to me.
Well, you make it difficult to say no. But you must work very hard.
I will. Thank you.
You realize, of course, there'll be a charge for the lessons.
Oh, of course. How much?
$150 for 10 lessons. Now, that's considerably less than my usual fee, but considering your talent, I'll make an exception.
$150?
You can't swing that?
Oh, yes, I can. I will, even if I have to borrow it from my aunt. But how soon do we start?
Tomorrow?
The sooner the better.
Very well, then. I'll see you at the same time tomorrow. Cash in full, in advance, and we will begin.
I'll have all the money, I promise, and I'll be here. I'm just thrilled, thank you.
Till tomorrow, Miss McTavish.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Well, you realize that this news is going to be devastating to Grant.
You mean to Andre Chernin?
Whatever. It's terrible news for him, not to mention his wife as well.
We have no choice. The real Grant Putnam is very much alive in Manhattan.
All right. Tell me, what plans does the State Department have for the man that we know as Putnam?
I'm authorized to make him the same offer we made before, which he turned down.
Change of identity.
Prepared to give him a whole new life, a new name, birth certificate, social security number, driver's license, credit cards, everything.
And a new location.
Of course. We'll relocate him in a city, preferably far away, where no one knows him.
Well, he knocked back this offer once before. Why do you suppose he won't decline it again?
I'm hoping that learning the real Grant Putnam is alive will change his mind.
I wouldn't count on that.
In our opinion, the man has no choice. In any event, we're going to have to tell him about the real Grant Putnam.
When do we tell him?
Will tomorrow be convenient for you?
Yeah, sooner the better.
Good. Then why don't you arrange a meeting with Putnam, with Chernin, here, if that's acceptable?
Yeah, here's good.
Good. I'll be at the Port Charles Hotel. Just give me a call and tell me what time to be here.
I'll do that.
Excuse me, but do you mind my making an observation?
Go ahead.
Seems to me that you're taking this whole turnaround kind of personally.
You're right. Look, Grant, Andre... I know Grant Putnam as Grant Putnam. I'll always know him as Grant Putnam. I know him as nothing else. And we're not just friendly. We're friends. There's a difference there.
I agree.
Apart from that, my wife is very close to Celia. They've been through a lot together. It means a lot for her to have Celia in Port Charles.
Look, I'll talk to Chen and myself. If you want an out...
No. I want to be there.
I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Yeah. Listen,
Thanks for all your help, Commissioner.
before you go,
Yes?
the real Grant Putnam. What's he planning to do about this situation?
That is entirely up to him.
Robert, I'm so glad you're here. I was right.
You often are, love. About what?
Hannibal, I swear it's a scam. He wants to start teaching me tomorrow. And get this, he guarantees a Broadway audition with Roland Gilbert, the creme de la creme of choreographers, for a new show called The Hopscotch Girl.
Really?
Naturally, it's a bargain. $150 for 10 classes.
Cash in advance, of course.
Of course. He made me dance for him, and I swear, he hardly gave a darn. What's wrong?
I had a visit from the State Department.
And?
The real Grant Putnam is still alive.
Oh, no.
Alive and in New York City.
Well, what does that mean?
I wish I knew, love. The State Department want to give Grant a whole new identity. Tomorrow we want to tell him about the real Grant Putnam.
A new identity. What exactly does that mean?
Oh, it'll be a whole new life for him. New background, new ID, new location.
He has to move from Port Charles?
That's what the State Department want to suggest.
But he turned that down already when he defected.
That was before we knew the real Grant Putnam was alive.
Where did they find him?
A mental hospital in England. Apparently he was half dead. He'd gone mute. But of late he's recovered his memory.
When are they going to tell Grant?
Tomorrow. They're also going to run the new identity bit by him.
But that's impossible. Their lives are here. I won't be able to talk to Celia. She won't even be able to talk to the quartermaster.
It's a whole lot deeper than that. She won't even be able to talk to her father. In effect, Celia and Grant will cease to exist.
And yet they're alive. It's like sending them to prison.
There's another side to this. Once news of the real Grant Putnam gets out, the publicity is going to be real ugly.
Well, the publicity will be hard to handle, I'll give you that, but not nearly as hard as living in some place with fake names, knowing that you're not going to be able to talk to any of your friends ever again, or Celia's family. It's a nightmare.
I know. But that's what they're going to put to him.
It's so unfair.
Life often is. But that ain't going to help Grant.
Celia's going to be devastated.
This is Commissioner Scorpio. Is Grant Putnam there? It's imperative that I reach him. Yeah, all right. When he comes in, tell him to call me, will you? He's got the number. And tell him it's urgent. I'll wait for the call.
You said you're going to tell him tomorrow?
Yeah. And it's going to be tough. Very, very tough.
No, what the man from the State Department says, Celia and Grant won't do it. Celia's not going to live the rest of her life in hiding.
But you suppose that Grant could?
No, I don't think he could. He's working so hard to make a new life for himself. Moving away, assuming a new name, never speaking to any of his friends again. I think he'd consider that running away, and so would I.
Well, look, I'm inclined to agree with you. But do you suppose having his name dragged through the mud is going to be any easier?
It's going to be hell for Celia.
I just don't know how to give any advice here. Oh, and speaking of advice,
Yes?
I want to say this now before you get any deeper. Are you sure about this Hannibal business?
Yes. I'm not exactly without experience in this area, and yes, I'm sure I can smell it.
Then what I'm about to say is very important, Holly. If this guy realizes you're setting him up, there's no telling how he might react.
I can handle it. And don't you stop me. It's very exciting seeing him taking the hook. Being on the other side of the fence is fascinating.
Yeah, whatever happened to the simpler fascinations?
Like what?
Your aspirations to be the galloping gourmet.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that, as you so put it, represents a tidy investment in kitchen gadgetry. You've got boxes out there you haven't even opened yet.
I opened the wok yesterday.
Does that mean that we're having a tempura for dinner or something like that?
No. All the directions were in Japanese.
Well, sayonara to the wok. Does that mean we're at the mercy of the pasta?
No, the dough is still all stuck in the machine.
Well, out of a dirt, shit to the linguine.
I thought it might be fun for us to eat out for a while.
Oh, I wondered when you'd get round to that.
You don't mind?
I would follow you anywhere. But you got to promise me something. Now,
Anything.
Holly, I'm serious. You listen to me. You want to go after this Hannibal character, you're going to be very, very careful.
I'm always careful.
Yeah, but especially. Now, we're partners in this, all right?
Partners.
So, you don't go off at any tangents. Got it?
Partners, I promise.
Right.
Shall I get that?
No, that'll be Grant returning my call.
May I make one suggestion?
Please.
Don't tell him the man from the State Department is here. He'll just worry all night.
Yeah, I had the same thought myself. Hi, Grant. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for returning my call. Look, I have something to talk to you about. No, I need to do it in person. How about tomorrow, noon? Yeah. Oh, look, why don't you plan on coming here? Thank you. And, my best to Celia. Tomorrow, noon.
This is David Hartman. Tomorrow we salute Cary Grant and his movies on Good Morning America. Next week, the Reverend Billy Graham, Kurt Russell from Silkwood, also Morris Gibb and Lorenzo Lamas on Good Morning America.
Sunday, meet the Emperor of the United States on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Then someone in Washington would rather see the judge dead than seated on the Supreme Court on Hardcastle and McCormick. After, the world's greatest cowboy and an ambitious reporter share a rough ride to love. Robert Redford and Jane Fonda star in The Electric Horseman on the Sunday night movie. Sky demands the truth about Raven's past. Watch The Edge of Night next.